Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday, March 28th, and I am here for your Business Tip Tuesday today. Super excited to be sharing with you guys just some of my tips on how to build a massive following on social media. I am hoping that you guys will have lots of questions and you will post them in the comments below because I want to make sure that I deliver to you guys exactly what you're looking for. So I'm bringing you this Business Tip Tuesday purely from experience, being somebody that built a social media following from nothing. I have no background in network marketing, in social media. I was never a part of any other company before coming to Team Beachbody. I have my master's degree in special education. My undergrad is psychology. I found Team Beachbody because I was looking to lose weight after having 2 kids, and I had less than 100 friends on Facebook. So with that being said, my Facebook settings were private. I did not have an Instagram account, and quite honestly, I did not have a smartphone. My phone actually was a flip phone, and my laptop required that you were plugged into the wall before it would even boot up, right? So good morning, guys. I see that everybody is starting to join. So guys, before you whip out excuses as to why you can't grow your business, remember that I started with nothing, probably like many of you are starting with, and I also did not have support, and I was a stay-at-home parent with an infant and a toddler, 2 boys. So those of you that are boy moms out there, you know that at least my boys are different, and they didn't just sit in front of the TV or play with baby dolls. I mean, they were busy and moving 24/7, and so I had to be really efficient and effective with the time that I did have, right? So anyways, yeah, Victoria, thanks. Yeah, you saw me 2 years in. So guys, my social media has evolved, and I don't go back and delete old profile pictures or old Facebook posts. You could go back to 2011 when I started my business and literally see the progression of where my skills have improved over the years, and I still feel like I am improving. And one of the things, I've got a list of probably 5 things that I'm going to share with you today about how to improve your following on social media. But I go back and I click on that on this day so that I can see my progress, and what was getting traction a year and 2 years and 3 years ago on my business. And it's really cool to go back and look that last year and 2 years ago at this time, do you know what was getting traction? Images, Facebook images. Now, I notice a distinct difference in what gets visibility. So I notice that visibility now comes in the form of live videos. It's much less traction when it comes to Facebook posts that include images in them. Now that also means that I have been self-reflective, and I identify that, and I'm not fearful of that. As much as my heart races and my palms get sweaty when I started to do live videos at the beginning, I knew that that was the trend in social media. And as an entrepreneur, I was not willing to sacrifice the progress of my business because I was afraid to make a change. And so therefore, I embraced this idea of going live and not always pre-recording videos and sharing YouTube links. And I got comfortable with live video. Therefore, your following begins to grow and continues to progress. So there's this sense of self-awareness as the times change, and not saying to yourself, oh my God, Facebook has changed or Instagram has changed and my stuff isn't getting seen, but it's like, well, what is getting seen? And let me follow other people that are having great traction right now, and what are they doing that's different? How are they growing their social media? And then being able to adapt and change based on those things as well. And Emily, you're right. Getting uncomfortable, in your current situation is what does help you grow. All right. So with that being said, number one, when it comes to building a social media following, you can't expect a quick fix. There is no magic pill. There is no quick fix. This takes time, people. You don't walk into the grocery store and say, I want a 6-pack abs. You have a six-pack of beer, but you're not going to get a six-pack of abs by walking into the grocery store, asking the clerk for six-pack abs, and then walk out with a totally different lifestyle. It is not going to work. You are not going to walk onto social media, announce that you are open for business, and now have 50,000 followers. It is not going to happen. It is going to be the compound effect, guys. And that was for me. There were days and weeks and months, and you just see this compound, this result of 5.5 years, actually 6 years of effort. But in the first 6 months, there were days that Facebook posts got 0 likes, that I had 0 applications being filled out, that I showed up 3 and 4 times a day and with no gratification. There were no changes. I struggled to hit Success Club. I struggled to make those first few sales. But I understood that there was no quick fix, just like there was no quick fix in my fitness, because I was seeing that happen. I realized there was not going to be a quick fix in my business either. I needed to build a trusting relationship with people, and that's it. Just because you hop on social media and you say, it worked for me, join me, does not mean people are going to join you. You have to create a momentum, a flywheel, a compound effect by putting information out there. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is what are the things that I put out there that created that flywheel. But every time you start to say to yourself, this isn't working for me, I want you to evaluate the situation. Are you expecting it to happen faster? Do you have an entitlement mindset? Are you looking for the next quick fix? Are you constantly hopping from social media to platform to idea, and you're not giving things long enough to work? If that is you, identify that and stop yourself. Create your own intervention and stop that from happening. The second thing is belief. Building a large social media following means you have to have belief in what you're doing. There are many people out there that are business owners because they saw somebody else do it and they thought it was going to be easy. There are a lot of coaches in my organization that are like, I'm going to join with Melanie because it's easy. She can do it. She's top coach. She's going to teach me what to do. And then they get into my team and they're like, well, this is work, right? I'm not going to instantly have the following she has. I have to do the work too. And then they lose belief in themselves. They don't believe even from day one that they're capable of it. It's that thing. If you don't wholeheartedly believe that you are meant to build a successful business, that you will eventually gain the right people and you will have a good following, you will fail. Because belief is everything. What goes on in the space between your head is more important than any skill, any social media editing, any live videos that you can create. Your belief in yourself will ooze into everybody you talk to. When people that I meet talk to me, they're like, I can tell you love what you do. I can feel the passion. I know you know that this works. I can feel it. They're willing to trust me more because they know I believe. I don't waver on it. Do I struggle? Absolutely. Do I have times where my motivation is not at peak? Absolutely. But I never lose sight of that belief. I believe in myself that I'll always find a way. That comes through constant personal growth. That comes through constant personal development. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. Bottom line, they won't believe in you. All right, the next thing is, I talked about this at the beginning. What worked for you 12 months ago doesn't always work now. Live video is where it's at. So let me ask you this. When's the last time you did a live video on your personal Facebook page? When's the last time you did a live video? How many of you are struggling to get interaction on your page? I want you to do a live video. I want you to schedule videos into your calendar and make time for them, because live video that gives people value is what is going to make people come back. It should be a mixture of fun. It should be a mixture of training or tips, and it can't be in groups only. It can't be, right? So Victoria, it has to be public live video. So go and let's brainstorm a list right now. What are you currently working on your business? Are you trying to attract coaches to your organization? Are you trying to attract customers to buy your product? If you're trying to attract customers to buy your product, think about the ways that you can show people that the products work. Could you go into the bathroom and if you sell lipstick, give a tutorial about the right way to put on the lipstick, or ways to do like daytime looks and nighttime looks. If you are a rodent and fields consultant, you know, I just bought that stinking roller, that amp roller. That sucker hurts. I would watch a tutorial of somebody showing me how to use that amp roller correctly. That is a teaching tool. It hurt. I would want to know how to do that. For me, I am a Beachbody coach, so I'm going to go into the kitchen and I'm going to show people how to use those little containers that they think don't work. I'm going to teach people how to read nutrition labels. I'm going to go live with my kids and show people how we make healthy snacks as a family. You know, I'm going to go live and talk about crock pot recipes, and I'm going to show people, give them actual resources or tips or reviews on things that are working for me. So those are the things that you want to think about. What are the things I can put out there to show people how to do whatever it is I'm trying to promote? It is going to work way better than any video. And then you give people a call to action. If you like this video, or if you're now curious about the 21-day fix, message me or like this post. I have a group starting where I'm helping you to navigate the program and get the results you want. It's starting on April 3rd. Message me for more information. Drop your, comment below. I'll send you a private message. But don't be afraid to give a call to action at the end of videos. Those are important. So ask yourself, what is it that I'm trying to, what goal am I trying to get to this week? How can I create content that adds value, that people can connect to my personality through video, and then will want to join me? So if you look at your social media and all your social media is, and I see this all the time, a workout selfie, picture of them with their Shakeology and their family. That is all that is on your social media. You are never going to create a massive following. I don't care if you post every single day on social media about your workout. You are going to eventually become so what. And Danielle Natoni taught me this the best about giving myself the so what test. If I scroll, what makes me stop? What catches my attention? Are you getting boring? In the last week, what have you done that has not just been about you and look at me, here's my workout accountability, but what have you done to teach people how to be more positive, to give them a mindset, to give them a recipe, like share the image and the food and the recipe and tell people what your review is about it. If people are giving you price objections, then you handle that price objection publicly and you give people information to help them make an informed decision. I always look at other people that I admire out there in the social media world that are rocking social media. What do? They give away free content that people are sharing. And I think to myself, I could give you I give you everything that I do in my business publicly on social media. Number one, because I know that not everybody's going to use it. And if you do, that's great. I also know that it gives me credibility because it means that I actually am practicing what I preach. And when you join my team or you join my challenge groups, you know what you're getting because there is so much of me out there already. Tony Robbins shared this at one of his Unleash the Power Within. Every single one of his Unleash the Power Within sessions are on YouTube. So why the heck do people still go to, why are his seminars, his 4-day seminars packed to the brim? Why? Because he creates value by putting so much out there that you trust him and you want more. You want more. You want to be a part of that because he is somebody that is credible, that is going to help you build a business. And you have to do that on a smaller scale for you guys too, right? So remember that. Remember that. You have to create what you see these big names out there in business doing on your scale. That's how you create the following. Ask people to follow. Ask people to like. Ask people to share. But your passion has to come through in these live videos. Building relationships, guys. Facebook, Instagram. What are we on right now? Social media. Social media. You can't be an introvert on social media. because it won't work. It's just like you can't develop a friendship with somebody if you don't return their phone calls. Or if they call you and they ask you to go get lunch and you constantly let it go to voicemail, or you say, I can't go today, what is going to happen? That person is not going to invite you to lunch again because you don't say yes. They're going to think that you don't really care. So on social media, when people are commenting, are you commenting back? When people are liking your post every day, are you reaching out and saying, hey, I've noticed you've been liking my posts. Thanks so much for the support, right? You know, are you doing any of the workouts, or what interests you most about what I'm doing? Are you engaging with the people who are giving you interaction? This is social media. Also, when you're out there developing relationships with people, you can't just like and comment on their picture one time and say, I built a relationship today. Because they didn't even comment back. That's not a relationship, people. That is not a relationship. A relationship is that back and forth, constant interaction, constant traction with people so that they begin to know you, you know what their interests are, and eventually it will turn into a sale or into a customer or into a coach. But it takes 20, 30, 40, 50 interactions with people before they're actually going to make that decision. So think about that, building relationships. It is building trust with people. Before they are gonna let you in, they are going to want to trust you. And most people are gonna do this from afar. I can't tell you how many of my coaches in my organization have said, Melanie, I followed you for years before I reached out to you. It's going to be the same thing for each one of you too. So if you aren't consistent with it, it's not gonna move to that next stage where that decision is being made. The next one is just adding value, free tips and tools over the long period of time. You've got to give away freebies, downloadable 7-day guides, where people are getting content for free. That's why we run free groups. That's why we offer so much free advice. That's why we send out monthly newsletters. That's why I do those things, is because the more value I can put into people's hands, the more little snippets like this I can share with people, the more that they realize this girl isn't just building a business, she knows what she's talking about and she can teach me how to do it. Or this girl just isn't advertising for a challenge group, this girl actually knows how to meal plan and her stuff looks good, I want to join her too. Are you creating tools like that or opportunities for people to get free information from you? How did I do this when my kids were little? I set up my phone in the kitchen while they were playing on the floor and I talked about snack time. You know, I was parked in the car while they were taking a nap and I was making live videos about motivation or what I was listening to on the podcast that day or what spoke to me. I was finding these pockets of time. I'm in my workout clothes. My hair was up in a ponytail. I didn't have makeup on. I was sharing the real me. But that's just it. We don't need to have a staged area. Things don't have to be perfect. It just has to be real. Because when you show people that realness, that's where they're going to join you, is because they believe that they can do it too. All right? Next, consistency. You have to, and consistency and positivity. Those are the last two things we're going to just very quickly talk about today, guys. If you're not consistent, I see so many people that do this. They do consistency for 2 weeks, then they do this. And they try to rebound. And every time you're consistent and you drop off and you come back, you lose a little credibility. And so it's hard to get back up here if you keep doing this. And it's hard to restart an engine once it is shut off, guys. It is hard to keep going when you're constantly picking yourself back up again. It is easier to quit, but if you keep that momentum and that cadence, that pace, and it doesn't have to be mjmitro pace, it can be whatever pace you want it to be, but schedule your business hours. Set aside the time. Get focused on what it is that you want to accomplish in this business and be consistent with it. There have been many opportunities in my life where I could have checked out, had family illnesses and devastating things that have happened, but maybe I wasn't up here at my highest amount of productivity, but I never stopped. I never took my foot off the gas. I always showed my journal of life. I call my social media my life journal. And I shared the ups and the downs and how I was working through it and how it maybe set me back a little bit, but how I was going to rebound from that. I And I never stopped. I maintained that level of consistency. I have coaches that are pregnant. I have coaches that are nursing. I have coaches that are postpartum. I have people on my team that are going through divorce, and they're showing up. You know, they're showing up because they know that this is their positive outlet to inspire others. They know that this business is going to change their future, and they know that through this hard time, they've got to push through. But even during this hard time, they're going to develop relationships with people that are maybe going through what they're going through, and it's going to help them through that situation. And they're looking at the glass half full instead of the glass half empty. And so I have to ask you this. Are you maintaining positivity every single day in all that you do? Are you looking at the opportunity? Because I don't want to follow people that aren't positive. I don't want to follow the negative Nellies. I don't want to follow the people that are bashing other people on social media. They get a quick unfollow from me. So what you put out there, the vibe, your personality, is what is going to attract other people. And then the last thing before I just answer just a few questions is this. You've got to constantly be raising the bar and upping your game. So when it comes to social media, my crappy selfies worked 4 years ago, but social media was young. Instagram was new. Now, people are getting better at Instagram. People are getting better at Facebook. I got to get better with it too. I invested in a better phone. I invested in a tripod. I invested in a light, in a ring light, so that my pictures and my videos were a little bit better. I invested in those things. I watch how people position themselves in images. I make sure that my room isn't dark. I pay attention. Nobody taught me how to do it, but I pay attention and I practice until I get it right. And I'm not gonna give up. Those things, asking people for a decision, asking people to follow you, asking people to share, giving people value, being positive, believing in yourself, leading from the front, and never giving up. That's what it takes, guys. That's all it takes. And if you would talk to Michael Jordan, or you would talk to Tony Robbins, or you would talk to Brendan Burchard or Gary Vaynerchuk, they would all tell you that they had 0 following when they started. They hit 0 shots that they took. But they practiced and they evaluated and they got better and they learned to change with the times. And think about it. How many new basketball players came up in Michael Jordan's time? If he stopped practicing, if he stopped going out there and making those shots, somebody else would have been better. But he didn't look at it that way. He didn't look at the competition and say they're better than me. He was like, how can I improve my personal best, and how can I be better tomorrow? How can I show up and make a difference? And that's the mindset that you have to have every single day when you go to your business and you open those doors. You put your best foot forward. And some days it's not your absolute best, but it's the best that you got that day. And that, my friends, is enough. Your social media following will grow. Don't give it an end date. Don't put a deadline on it. Tell yourself you will be successful no matter what it takes. And at the end of every day, I always say to myself, could I have given it a fingernail more? Could I have done any better? And some days, yeah, I could have done better, but this is all I've got today. But most days, I give it all I have, and I teach others to do the same. All right. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for participating in Business Tip Tuesday. I just am going to scroll through the comments here and answer any questions that there may be. And then you guys can be on your merry way. I'll upload this to YouTube. You can follow my YouTube page and get, all of my live videos or all of my recorded videos that I put out there. I put so much training. Go to my mjmitro.com website. Make sure you follow that. I will upload all of this and create a blog post out of it and share it later. Make sure you subscribe to my Melanie Mitro page and you click like the C first so you get notifications, because this is where I like to share business tips. So I like to share videos and motivation and inspiration to help you go out there and build the business of your dreams too. All right. Let me see. What are your 2 top social media platforms for a coach starting out? So honestly, Emily, yes, I would say for a new coach starting out, personal Facebook page and Instagram is what I would tell you to use. And the reason is they're easy. You already have a warm market, and that makes it easy to work with. So Instagram and Facebook, you already have a warm market. It is easy to build. Then what I did was I built my other social media in the background. I built my blog because I like to write. right. And I always say it depends on what platform you want to be a part of that you feel the most inspired by is where you should put your time and energy into. I don't believe that you have to have a YouTube channel. I don't believe you have to have a blog. I don't believe you have to have all of that to get started. You literally just need to put content out there and following these principles to get started. The other thing is don't overthink it. Just go, just post. Make those bad posts, learn from your mistakes. All right? Okay, any books to suggest on positive leadership? I would suggest to you guys to read books like You're a Badass by Jen Sincero. I would suggest John Maxwell. He is an amazing leader. You know, those are the people that I love. Anything Chalene Johnson. I love Tony Robbins. I mean, I have so many great books. Girl Boss is a great one. Girl Code. Oh gosh, there's so many authors out there. It's like hard to capture them all. But yes, those are the ones that I would suggest. Personal Facebook page, guys, absolutely. And when should a coach start a like page? You can start a like page at the same time that you start your personal page, and you're sort of like double posting, but you're trying to get that like page up to 1,000. You know, trying to get it up there so that you can begin promoting it and using it as a business. But you're gonna notice that the traction just isn't there right away. All right. How do you feel about, I talked about that. What's a good balance of tips and fitness and just okay, I worry about overloading followers with fitness. I don't worry about it. I post 3 to 5 times a day. Most of it is fitness and business. That's who I am. It's clean eating. I share a little bit about my kids, but that's my page. And I've sort of weeded, I mean, people just know me now. Guys, 5.5 years ago, I was still doing the same thing, posting about my recipes and my nutrition and my tips. But my goal was when I posted that stuff that it wasn't like, ooh, look at me, here's another selfie of my workout. It was like, here is something motivational that will help you press play today. Or here is a picture of my food, but this is the recipe and this is why we like it and you should try it. Or, hey, here's a picture of my snack. You know, buy these kinds of cucumbers. They're really awesome. I like the little mini cucumbers. And look at these little hummus cups. They're individually packaged. So it's like giving tips. You don't like to drink your water? You know, drink LaCroix. You know, this is another alternative. So it's teaching. Think of yourself as a teacher and teaching a skill. That makes you not annoying. It makes you value added. All right. Okay, guys. I think that I've answered all of the questions so far. With that being said, have a really, 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 really awesome Tuesday, and I will see you guys later. Bye, everybody.